Hello and welcome to Dragon's Crochet. I have not posted in quite a long while, and that's not because I have not wanted to. I've simply just not had the time nor the energy. I've really got to take care of my health, plus, I've also been really busy with volunteer organization work and also the moving that happened at the very last week or so of February and getting back to normal after a period of moving, it's not easy. If you wonder, I have possible tendonitis in my left arm again, and one of the downsides of having had tendonitis in the first place, you are having an extremely high chance of getting it back if you overuse your arm and or do something that can trigger it. And I know exactly why it happened to me this time. I was at the cabin this weekend and I froze because we didn't understand how the air pump worked, nor did we find any firewood for the fireplace. So, since we couldn't actually get any warmth in the cabin, me and the other seven people, we froze for a few hours, and that must have affected my arm so bad that when I got home yesterday, I screamed in pain. I had to put this support back on, and it has a metal plate in here, which is also interchangeable with this side. So if something happens to this arm, I can just switch over. Yeah, I actually kind of need to get a new one either way. Maybe two, because then I won't have to deal with switching the plates. I don't know. Um, what else has happened this month? I have been on a trip to Kiel with Colorline Magic this time because I went on the big yearly meeting for an organization I'm in the board of. So I got some interesting yarn because I thought, okay, this is my second time ever in my life going to Kiel. Kiel, not sure how the English would pronounce the word of the city, but it's a town in Germany, very nice town and also really accessible. So me as a wheelchair user, I just Googled, okay, wool stores or yarn store in Kiel. And wouldn't you know it, just close to the Sophienberghof, I think the center is, the one that's closer to the ferry, just a few blocks away, there was this store called Wool und Hobby, and it had really good ratings on Google. So I thought, oh hell, I have 3 hours. Why not just go check it out? So I rushed out of the boat by 10 a.m. because that's when we are allowed to go out of the boat, and then I rushed full speed, 10 kilometers an hour, to the wool store and or yarn store. I'm being influenced by English and or German language at the moment, so I'm sorry for that, for mixing up. But wool is also, I think, the British word for yarn, and any kind of yarn. Yeah, I don't know. Um, so I rushed down and I got to what looked like a parking lot. And my initial thought were, okay, is this the parking lot for the those that work in the store, or is it the entrance? Because Google Maps says it is the entrance. So I struggled to understand, obviously, also because I can't read German. I can understand a few words because Norwegian being in the same language tree, but the Germanic languages, but Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, and Icelandic is so far off from the German language itself that despite having a few very similar to the same words, it's quite different. Hence, it's different languages. Blah, blah. Sorry for sidetracking. My autism being like, hey, why not just do any fun facts? Well, So I went into the store after getting help to get the door open because despite it being all handicap accessible, they had no door opener, so I would have struggled to get in either way. I went in and I was blown away by the amount of yarn and crafting supplies, and I spent pretty much 2 hours or so alone in that store. And if I ever get the chance to go back to Kiel, I'm so gonna go in there again. It was a dream come true. Why can't we have these big yarn stores in Norway as well? I know the America, like USA, have them. Probably Southern America as well. Most of Europe has it, but Norway, we have these tiny, tiny, tiny stores in comparison, unless you're like an old established chain and or store that's local for one area that can be quite big, but usually we only have small stores for this type of crafting in shopping centers and or close to them. And if not, if they're in their own buildings, they're often in such old buildings that I physically cannot go in because of too narrow doors or steps, really. And my wheelchair cannot climb steps. I know there are some models trying to fix that, but I don't have it, and I don't think I will get it in the foreseeable future. I don't know. Anyway, I spent 120 euros on yarn. The cashier was kind of getting wide-eyed by the amount I bought. It was only 12 skeins. I promise you that. It was only 12 skeins. And I primarily, this is 10 of them, and I'm going to show you. I got three different colors of long yarns, super socks, cotton stretch, 4 ply. These are two of them. So as you can see, this has a lovely moss green, lime green, brown, earthly tones, and some blue. And this one is kinda similar, but more like dusk dawn. And then we had some with a lot of purple. So I have started to use that obviously because it's in a yarn cake. So no, don't mess with my. But I got two of each of these super socks yarns. Really love them. And I'm not using them for socks by any means because I have other plans. I also got 4 colors of some business bamboo from Prolana. It's golden stocks for fuck for ply. I don't know. I got one in a grayish black color, really lovely in person, even better than showing up now. Looking forward to working with that one. I got 3 of the same yarn, but in this light blue color. Sadly, they only had 3 of them, and I would have gotten 6 if I could, honestly. But since they didn't, I took the last 3 I found and one black because black is amazing. And then I found this amazing darker blue version and a single metallic-ish green. The yarn itself is super soft and it's 40%, 45% wool, 30% viscose and 25% polyamide. So despite me being slightly against acrylic yarn or plastic yarn, I've got to try it sometime, right? And why not with some yarn I feel does not hurt my hands? The cashier was like, why are you buying so much at the time? And I was like, I'm not going to be here for quite a while. So obviously, I'm going to get what I can when I have the money. Oh, you're one of the travelers. Yeah, I am. And she also said that she was kind of shocked because in Kiel, especially at their store, when people buy yarn, they usually only buy the specific amount they need for this or that project, according to what the lady said there and then. But I really, really enjoyed the experience I had at the store. I hope to actually be able to travel there again for and also have some fun instead of just rushing through because maybe I want to take a vacation. I don't know. But as you saw, I had caked up the purple part and yeah, look at this beautiful striping. And so now it's kind of hard to see what it is, but you can also kind of guess. And if I do this, because this is what it's going to be, I need to right now, actually. I should. I still have some, but this is getting tight, so maybe I should. It's kind of good I tried it on now because I'm gonna make a sweater out of this, and this is this sleeve. I have not made the yoke or uh, body part of it because I want to make the sleeve first, and then I will make the body and attach. I only have as of now the in a vision of how I want the arms to look. So since this cake contains two uh, of the same yarn, I have decided that I made two sleeves in this lovely petrol color. Yes, and this rim is where I fastened. I made it visible because I actually liked it. I don't know. I'm weird. I just I'm trying things. I have not made any type of sleeves or pants before, but I'm trying, and I'm honestly debating that I might have to order more of this kind of yarn if I find a color I like, because I really enjoy this. It's stiff, but not too stiff. It's breathing, but I need to undo a few rows because of it being tight. I need to widen because arms naturally go from very wide to narrow, and as you can see, my arm is actually quite narrow. It's so that I can almost with my pinky hit. So yeah, I have very small arms. It's not that it's too narrow, but I want to have some breathing because it's wool and it needs air in between so that it actually can keep the warmth. But look at this, a sleeve going up, and I'm not sure exactly how much one arm will get, but I am going to count when making the other. I have actually made the other cuff, so I'm just now counting and trying to make things go as I want it to, but so far I really enjoy it. I mean, come on, look at this. Look at this lovely coloring. Most of the light of what you see are natural. I have just one light there because, as you can see, it's more light there than here. Um, most of it is natural, but this is just to make sure that my face is actually visible because It's a quite dark apartment and I don't want to put on any lights if I don't have to, which is kind of normal. But yeah, I'm trying to make a sweater for myself and I'm using sock yarn. Why not? It works. Dude, I really enjoy it. And I'm debating on whether or not I should. I think I should because it's getting tight. So if I undo until there, maybe add a few stitches. So yeah, that's basically what I have. And I can also say that I used a 3.25 millimeters on this petrol part. The petrol part is made from superwash merino wool from Hobby, and I used a 3.75, no, 3.25 millimeter crochet hook, which is this one, size D. It's a Clover Soft Touch. Not sure if I actually enjoy or hate this handle, but it works, and I usually crochet with a pencil grip compared to before because it helps with my chronic pain, which makes it then easier to actually crochet with bigger yarns. I used to struggle because I used a knife grip. A knife grip is typically just you holding like this and or just yeah, it's just a preference thing, but I have my 2.5 millimeters here. As you can ish see, it says Clover Japan. It's not easy to see. It says Clover Japanese brand, and I gotta say, I have switched over from Tulip, and I was a all Tulip guy to this hook. So yeah, I hope you're gonna have a lovely time of the day, whatever it is where you are when you're watching. And before I forget, I need to say this. Happy 31st of March to all of my trans friends, family, whatever you wanna identify as I mean, as long as you're not cis, you're technically in the trans label by default, but you don't have to be a trans person. Gender fluid, I think it's in the trans category or umbrella term, but you do not have to identify it as a trans person. But if language is stupid, I know. But other than that, I hope you are enjoying today. And for all of my friends and family, stay safe, drink your water, take your medicine, and